Wednesday, August 9th-ish, and so if you're watching this, you're probably a parent, and you heard your kid talk about how insane I was. Let's see. So over yonder, I have my name, so it is Brovicast. I put a little pronunciation key up there to help you out, because as you saw a second ago, I butchered your names. I'm used to years of people butchering my name, so I did a little pronunciation key that goes down below it. If Brovicast is too much for you, you can shorten it to Brovi, or Bro, or B, or Hey You. Most of this will work for me as long as you smile when you say it. You can probably get away with calling me quite a few different things. And so hopefully that will help us bond. Writing utensil, I prefer pen, but if you know you tend to make a lot of mistakes, you're probably going to want to focus more on pencil. Me, I'm an adult, so obviously I never make mistakes. So that's why I use pen all the time. And then you're going to need like an iPad-y thing here, kind of a little bit for some of you. Others of you might not. If you don't have it, it's not the end of the world, but we'll get there. I'm going to give you 2 homework assignments this week that we're also going to talk about. My homework assignments this week are not tough ones. They are my way of trying to figure out which kids I get to make fun of. So I'm going to give you 2 fairly easy homework assignments because my goal this week is to start judging you. And the sooner I can begin Operation Judge a Child, the better off we're going to be. So I'm going to give you 1 due Friday and then 1 due Monday. And then we're going to figure out how responsible you guys are. So we'll talk about that here in a moment too. Today's goals. 1, the goal for you, judge your teachers. And so your goal is as you come back to school and you're going to get to sit in all these different classrooms, because you're used to, well, most of you are probably used to Sand Creek, where you had the same 1 to 2 teachers all day long. That's not how it works here. You're going to have 7 different teachers you get to rotate among throughout the entire day. Unlike in Sand Creek, where you had the same group of kids you spent the whole day with, there is a good chance the kids you see around you now, you won't see again until 3rd period again tomorrow. So you will not have the same classes with all of these kids. So a lot of that is where, as you're sitting in the room with the teachers and you're staring at them and they're staring back at you, you get to begin Operation Judge an Adult. And you get to figure out which ones are insane, which ones are nice, which ones are special, and stuff like that. So also, you're going to be figuring out which kids I get to crush, because my goal is that I get to judge you. As much as you are judging your teachers, we're also getting a chance to figure out stuff about you. Which of you I want to crush, whose tears are going to taste the most delicious, who I get to make fun of first, stuff like that. The way my class works, which is probably slightly different than Mrs. Bush's, is I will gently mock you in your educational endeavors. The more poor choices you make, the more I get to mock you and make fun of you in front of other people in an educational manner. Your goal is to be the kid that gets to laugh at the other kids getting made fun of and not be the one that is getting made fun of. But realize you're all human. You're all going to get made fun of at some point because you're not going to make it through the year without making a mistake at some point. Welcome to being a human. Your goal is just not to repeat the mistakes over and over and over again. But we'll see what happens from there. Let's see. I'll do that part, and then you're going to, for some of you, you've not been around humans for a while, because the last day you were around humans was back in end of May, and then you curled into a little cave called your room, and then you just popped out yesterday and saw the sun for the first time. And so for some of you, it's the idea of being around humans and being this close to them and stuff like that. So it's a little bit of an adjustment period, and it's all good. All right. Now we get to go through and do the whole me butchering your name things and stuff like that. You've hopefully heard this probably twice so far with the whole QR code thing, where if your name is not what's in Skyward, then I have to go through and do a changey thing. This is where your technology comes in. You only have to do it once, unless you really don't like your parents. And then you can do it in every single class and just harass them. They're going to get like a whole slew of emails, but that's up to you. I will go ahead and write down what you want your name changed to be. I just can't officially do it until they go through and do the Skywardy thing from there. So I'm going to pause this so that way, I'm not sure, you're looking at the wall, I'm talking about the thing here. This way it's not recording your names on here because that would be awkward. Hey, I kind of forgot to record again, so hang on 1 second. We're going to do a little speedy version just to help you at home. And then do that, and then put your name and your combination in your notebook. If you have top locker, don't let the little tails hang out because I'm going to cut them off. And then homework for this week. That was the really fast version of everything. So composition notebook due Monday. Bring a note if you don't have it. The next one, printed picture of you. So the printed picture of you can be of you at any age. It can be you with like other people or fish in the picture, as long as you are somewhere in the picture. I mean, we might not be able to figure out which one you are. If you have it from the time you got arrested, fine too. It can be you as a small child, and that's fine. They've wanted to just use like the school pictures, and you can use a school picture. It does not matter. You next to a frog, sure. It can be you playing sports. It can be you with a group of people. Matters not to me. It can be you as a wee little baby child. All that's good. I just need a picture of you that I can put up in the hallway with your name next to it. So realize everyone is going to see this picture. So if you bring in a picture of you in the bathtub when you were 2 years old and you have a little bubble thing on top of your head and you're like, I was the cutest, the answer is yes, you were. But the problem is everyone's going to see you at your cutest. So keep that in mind with whatever picture you bring in. This is going to be due Friday. This one's a little bit tougher. Most of you are probably not going around with a printed out picture of you. Now, I know you can just take a picture with your digital device, but I need it printed out. So we're going to see how responsible you are on that printing thing. If you don't have a printer at your house or you have no access to pictures, have a big person in your house write a note, and that's fine with me. You can even have the big person in your house email me, and I will print it for you because my heart is that big, and that is fine with me too. But as long as you have a picture of you that you can give to me, and I will give it back to you. I don't want to keep it. I know I have a stack of pictures here, but these are kids who did not want them back. I have no desire to keep your creepy kid photo. But for some reason, kids want me to have their creepy kid photo, so I've got a giant box going back 25 years of creepy kid photos. If you want to join that box, it's good to have dreams. But that is what you're going to bring for me on Friday, so we can try to figure out which kids I get to start harassing and giving a hard time to. And then we're going to have an actual-ish homework assignment Friday that's going to require like reading and thinking and writing and not dying. Like all of it together. I know. We're saving it for Friday because who doesn't like doing homework over a weekend? But the good news is it's 15 minutes. Like literally it's in the directions. You cannot spend more than 15 minutes on it. Now, it's like an hour and a half assignment, but I want to see how much you get done in 15 minutes. And I email your parents and say, do not let them take more than 15 minutes. I do not want to get an email like, we're on hour 4, we've made it to number 3. Bad child. I want to stop at 15 minutes, but we'll talk about that on Friday. Questions about this so far? Yay. All right, that's good. A lot of staring at me. So, whoever designed this school hates children more than me. That's impressive, because it's a pretty high bar. And the reason I say that is the library, which is right outside my door, the place with all the books. Around the library, there are sets of these wooden double doors. If you've seen these sets of wooden double doors, they all look the same. When you walk up to them, it looks like you are entering the same area, but they lead in 4 different directions around the building. Whoever designed this, I can only imagine was sitting in a room just going, just imagining the young kids wandering around, going in random places. So, here's where I'm going to attempt to help you out. My heart is going to grow 3 sizes today to the size of an acorn. I'm pretty excited. So here's how I help you. As you approach double doors, take a hand, apply it to chin, and go, and you lift head, and there are signs above each doorway telling you what's down that hallway. So you don't just go running down that hallway trying to find science and then find yourself like on the football field wandering in circles. Here's how we help you. So, only one of them does not have a sign, so if you find the one without a sign, it's because the office is there. If you can't figure out the office is there, that's not our issue. That becomes a you issue. So you look through there, that should help you out. The other ones, you can look up. Like if you're trying to get to the art rooms, find the one that says art. If you have Mr. Gazo with Tech Ed, same thing is going to be up there. You can look up to make your life a little bit easier. The main one that people are going to be looking for is going to be the one that says science right there, because that's the one that's in the boonies on the back side of the school that you all freak out about. So find the one that says science, and then go down that hallway to the end, take a right, and that's how you're going to get to science. If you're trying to get to music and wellness, PE, and stuff like that, it's going to be a whole different one. You go down that one, take a right. So again, look up. It's going to make your life much easier. Now, the kids on the other teams, we have the Globetrotters and Stars, their teachers don't love them as much as I love you guys. So they don't tell them about the signs. So throughout the day, if you have friends on the other teams, you may see them just like wandering around the halls, bumping into things, curling into a ball, crying, and stuff like that. This is where it is up to you. If you feel like being nice to them, when you see them curled into a ball crying, you can just reach down and lift their little chin up, and then you can point to the sign, and they'll be like, oh, I owe you my life. You're like, candy will do. And so you can have a little bonding moment from there. Or you can stand above them and laugh. Either one is you. You get your choice. You know which direction your soul is going to go. So hopefully this makes your life a little easier as you wander the halls and stuff like that. I have to pause for a moment because we have the joy that some kids are going to lunch after this, so I get to do like a little lunch thing. If you have A lunch, you're going to go to class and then you eat first. If you have B lunch, you have a half hour of class and then lunch and then a half hour of class. If you have C lunch, you have all of class and then lunch at the end. So because some of you are going to go to A lunch, I have a little thing I get to talk to you guys about. So hang on. Super exciting. And then I'll talk about stuff. Hey, there we go. So, you guys have been to Sand Creek. You've eaten food before. All right, so let's see. All students should report there are no assigned seats yet. There will be, but it's wherever you sit becomes your assigned seat. So it's when you go into lunch today, this is the freak out day, because you're going to go in there and try to find your friends. And if you're the first ones in there, then you have to make sure that you can find a spot where all your friends can sit. If you're not the first one in there, then you have to make sure you can find a spot that's still open where you can sit near your friends. And then in about, I don't know, 2 weeks or so, they're going to start like locking it in, and that becomes like your normal seat where you have to like normally be and stuff like that. But other than that, it's pretty open. Let's see. They're going to dismiss you by table to go up and get food. If you brought your own foodie bits, then you don't have to worry about it. You can just sit there and start meow, 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 and you're good to go. But if you want school food, then they'll dismiss you by table, and they'll walk you through that. Stay in your seats. If you need to go to the restroom or get up to do something, raise your hand, and the big people will point at you and be like, you're choicing! And you get to get up and go and do whatever it is you're going to do. But just raise your hand. Do they do that at Sand Creek? Do like stay seated? Do the hand raising? All right. No yelling. Don't be an idiot. Don't throw food. Don't touch other people's food. No horseplay. It's a horse-free area. Don't make a mess. They will make you clean it. You cannot switch tables once you have picked out your spot. Eventually, they're going to lock you in there. If today you end up not being your friends, don't freak out. Think you have to drop out. Tomorrow, you can still shift things around. It's like the first several days, people are still shifting around seats and stuff like that. If you are an idiot, they're going to give you a verbal warning, and then they have like a special table for the special children who make special choices. And then you get to go sit at the special table. For how long, depends on how special you are. Once you're done, raise your hand, take your stuff over, basically raise your hand, go drop off your stuff, don't leave a mess. And then show your respect. In other words, don't be an idiot. Good bonding. All right, come back to here. Yeah. Now back to our regularly scheduled program. If you've noticed my voice sounds a little bit different above Julian, I didn't even, never mind. It wasn't even on. Now it's on and you can feel my booming voice. It's the thing I'm wearing around here. There's a speaker up there. In case I'm not loud enough to penetrate your brain, I had technology donated where I get to have it and it sort of like pierces into your brain and it sort of sits in there and gives you the nightmares for later and stuff like that. So now you have that to haunt you. Plus, it makes it easier to pick up on here. Now you have questions? Hi, Julian, what's up?
Does water, break that?
Does water break it? No, this thing's older than you. Yeah. Was that the same question? Oh, I thought you guys were all just trying. Don't be hating on my voice-o-matic. Hi.
Speaking of piercing and brain, can you ring that bell in class?
Eventually, probably wait till Friday, and then I don't know that we'll get to that one. But yeah.
I heard it's super loud.
It's, yeah, my great-grandma was a teacher like out in Illinois in the farm fields, and that's how you would bring in the kids from miles around. She would stand on the front porch and she would double hand like wing, ring, ring, and you can hear it for miles. So in an enclosed room, you can feel like your brain shrink. So I don't hate you that much yet, but give me time, Reese. Hate will come. All right, so here, you guys are on the heroes team. Unlike at Sand Creek, where you guys had pods. Pods don't exactly exist anymore. What did you guys have last year's pods? What do they call them?
Teams.
Was it teams last year? They changed all the time. So you guys had like what, 6'1", 6'2", 6'3", whatever. We have cool names. So we have the heroes team, which is all the kids here, and there's the Globetrotters and the Stars and stuff like that. And so we also don't have rotations. We now have classes because you're big kids. So that's why you get to leave and then go to other classes and stuff like that. So it gets to be shuffled all around. So every hero kid is going to have the same 3 teachers. So you're going to have me for English, Butz for social studies, and then Melling for science. So every hero kid has that. The Globetrotters have their own 3 teachers. Stars have their own 3 teachers. Math is just a mix of everything. Same thing with like art, PE. Those are all just a mix of all the different teams together. You guys are on the best team. So congratulations to you as far as all of that goes. The other teams are going to be the Globetrotters and Stars. So if you had friends from past years and you talk to them, if you find out that they are not on my team and they are a Globetrotter or a Star, congratulations, you are better than them. And that is just pretty much how you should introduce yourself. Like, hi, I used to be your friend, but now I'm better than you. And so, and the sooner you start putting them in their place, the better. Unless they're on the Globetrotter team, the Globetrotters think they're better than us, but it's because they all hit their heads when they were young. The Stars are okay. If you're friends with Stars, they're like little huggy bears, and so no one hates the Stars, and so it's all good. And so we have a little bit of a battle going between the 3 teams here because we're the best, and the other teams are confused. It's just the way it works out, but we'll figure it out as the year goes along from there. Each team has their own symbol that represents their team. So this is our heroes team symbol. So we will end up coming out with like shirts and backgrounds and stuff like that, and there's buttons that will have that on there and things like that. Those of you who follow this thing called soccer, all of our symbols were stolen from the international soccer teams. And so if you are familiar with those, then you'll recognize all 3 of ours. We just sort of adjusted them from there. And so that is our symbol from the heroes team. The thing you see in the middle with the smiley face and the devil horns,
Is that you?
that's my symbol. And so pretty much you'll see little devil faces around my room because for some reason kids seem to connect me with evil and devil and dancing on tears. I know. Weird, I agree. But as you start looking around my room, you'll start seeing a common theme, devil faces and Spider-Man. Because devil faces, because that's me. And then Spider-Man, because I grew up a comic book nerd and I love Spider-Man. Because in the comic books, he makes fun of you while he beats you up. And for some reason, I make fun of you while I educate you, and it seems to just sort of go hand in hand. The movies don't quite do the same thing, although Tom Holland is adorable, I agree, but it's not the same. I gotta get this name right. It's Mate. Hi, Mate, what's up?
Did you steal that from Barcelona?
I did. I didn't steal. I educationally borrowed. Yeah.
Borrowed without asking.
I'm waiting. They have not offered a lawsuit yet. It's been about a decade, so I feel pretty safe. I don't think they're going to come after me unless you try. Nice. So, as we get a chance to go from there, how much time? Oh, just a moment. So, we are going to go from today over into tomorrow. Bring back purple sheet tomorrow that you have written your name on, right? Because, oh, by the way, here's how the purple sheet's going to work. You're going to have to bring it back like every day for the next week as I can talk about things that are on there. If you lose it, I can give you a new one. But you have to pay me for it. You don't know how to pay me yet. So the only way you can pay me is with tiers. If you don't want to pay me with tiers, I recommend not losing it. If your name is on it, I give it back to you for free, because that's being responsible-ish. Now, if you leave it somewhere and your name is not on it, then that's when I get to attack you. If you leave it somewhere and your name is on it, That's just silly, foolish 7th graders. I can forget that one. No name on it means you're challenging me, and I love a good challenge. That's when I get to come at you as far as that goes. So tomorrow we're going to start talking about the purple sheet and the stuff that goes into it from there. Let's see. Oh, I still have 3 minutes. Perfect. So don't you start packing up yet. I will come after you, you little munchkins, and I will squash you. So here's my question where I get to begin a discussion with you. And we're going to see how brave we are. Question 1, your definition of fear. Or what do you think fear is? Oh wow, we have some brave people already. Yeah, that was an Alex.
A looming existential dread that will never leave you.
Wow, someone's talking about their nighttime fears. I got you already. That happens. Julian?
Going home knowing you have a bad grade.
Should not happen in my. So along those, the good news is you will not have a bad grade in my class. The reason being is you're going to find out later this week, you're not allowed to have a bad grade in my class. Because as soon as your grade starts to slide, that's your invitation to me to help you. And I'm very good at helping kids. So I don't have kids who do poorly in my class. So in that case, don't worry about my class. Now math, that's a whole different issue. Kyle?
When your teacher's threatening.
When your teacher what?
Threatens you.
Threatens you. Now, what do you consider threatening? Like you're going to have homework, or when you leave the school, I'm going to find you? So, because there's a difference on what kids think threatening is. I'm trying to figure out where you see the line. One of those I'm more likely to do than the other.
The one that you're going to do more likely.
Teachers, pardon the interruption. 2 things. First of all, students, 4th period is when you'll be eating lunch. This is a reminder, you always go to 4th period first. Even if you're A lunch, you always go to 4th period first. We do not report directly to the cafeteria. Your teachers will, when you have the lunch, whichever you're scheduled for, the teacher will escort you down there. So, again, you'll be going to 4th period. Teachers, if you have not yet reviewed through the cafeteria expectations, I resent the email from Monday, so I sent that just a little while ago, and on that email has the attachment for the cafeteria expectations. Please take a minute, these last couple minutes, and review through those if you've not done that already. That way we can make lunch a little quicker today, as those expectations will have been reviewed already. Thank you very much.
I was on it, Julian. I'm not crushing kids yet. It's coming soon. Do you guys have questions as far as lunch goes?
Yeah, do you bring...
Not you yet. Goodness gracious, child. You seem so eager. Welcome, Aiden. Yes.
How do you know what lunch thing you are?
Solid question. You'll find out when you go to 4th period today. If you have science, it's like A lunch. Math is like C lunch or something like that. Or either way. No. Math is A lunch. Science is C lunch.
Wellness is C.
Wellness is C. Band is C. So you'll find out when you go to 4th period. I'm trying to remember the name. Go ahead. Elliot.
What's the direction to the orchestra room?
I can show you.
Remember the signs?
Yeah, but they didn't say orchestra.
No. Find the one that says music.
Music.
And orchestra technically counts as music. Just don't tell Mrs. Cornett. Yes, Aiden.
Do we bring our lunch boxes to 4th period?
Yes. Good idea to bring your lunch boxes to 4th period. Ramos. Down, Ramos. Don't worry, I'll crush you in a moment. I know you're excited. Alex?
Do we need our student IDs for lunch?
Yes, you're going to do the typey to get the food bits. So yes, you should. Well, I think you just have to type it. So as long as you know your number, you should be good.
Oh.
Okay. Josie,
Wait, if you just pack your lunch, do you not need it?
do you not need it?
Like
The number? Correct. Unless you just want to brag on people. And that's fine too. Alright, so we're good to go lunchy biz. How do I keep forgetting Matei? Yes.
Is there... So if you... Do you need your ID for anything else in lunch?
No. Well, library, but that'll be in like in a week or so. If you don't know where you're going, come ask and I can help. Otherwise, run away.